File codename: Metal Storm. Omega-level mutant. Master of Magnetism. Erik Lehnsherr, Magneto. Capable of turning the steel in your buildings, the wiring in your tech, even the weapons meant to stop him into tools of destruction. Magneto commands the electromagnetic spectrum itself, weaponizing everything from skyscrapers to satellites with a flick of his wrist. He can turn the infrastructure of a city into a battlefield, collapse armies with precision, or render entire nations helpless by dismantling their technology. His abilities are nothing short of terrifying. As a Holocaust survivor, Erik's experiences taught him the brutality of oppression and the lengths required to survive it. He doesn't seek domination for its own sake. He believes mutant kind must rise to power to ensure their survival. This isn't ambition, it's war in his mind. To Magneto, every action, no matter how ruthless, is justified if it protects his people. That combination of belief and overwhelming power makes him one of the most formidable threats I've ever studied. Still, even someone like Magneto has limits. His abilities, though extraordinary, require precision and stamina. Manipulating magnetic fields on a large scale drains him, meaning prolonged engagements could exhaust even his incredible reserves. Then there's the environment. Surroundings rich in metal and electromagnetic energy amplify his power, but take that away, his effectiveness drops significantly. A setting stripped of metal or a region rendered magnetically inert could leave him grasping for options. And then there's the man beneath the mask, a strategist and a survivor, but also someone deeply shaped by trauma and loss. His unwavering ideology, while a strength, can also blind him. His need to protect mutant kind, his compulsion to act as their savior, makes him predictable in the right circumstances. Exploit that belief, challenge it, and you just might find an opening. Magneto's abilities turn the modern world into his playground. A single move could cripple infrastructure, wipe out power grids, or even transform satellites into orbital weapons. His actions don't just break things, they unravel society. Needless to say, preparing for him isn't paranoia, it's a necessity. Taking on Magneto requires stripping him of the environment that fuels his power and exploiting the limits of his control. A direct fight isn't an option unless you're prepared, and when it comes to Erik Lehnsherr, preparation is everything. One method would be to lure Magneto into a non-metallic, magnetically inert environment. A containment chamber constructed from polymer composites and reinforced ceramics would strip him of his ability to manipulate his surroundings. To ensure effectiveness, the chamber would incorporate Faraday cage systems, blocking his control over electromagnetic fields. The trick lies in the bait. Magneto is fiercely protective of mutants, creating a false threat, such as an experimental weapon designed to harm his people, could compel him to act. Once inside the trap, his powers would be rendered useless, and his capture could proceed without unnecessary collateral damage. Another approach targets the biological source of his powers. Magneto's abilities stem from his X gene, and theoretically, they could be suppressed or disrupted. A neurofrequency jammer, designed to interfere with the neural pathways controlling his magnetism, could temporarily sever his connection to his powers. This jammer would need to be delivered with pinpoint precision, likely through airborne dispersal or specialized projectiles capable of activating on proximity. While untested, the concept holds merit. If his brain can be momentarily severed from his magnetic abilities, even an Omega-level mutant like Magneto can be stopped. Another possibility lies in turning Magneto's own power against him. Magnetism, for all its versatility, is still a natural force, one that can be manipulated in return. By deploying a specialized device capable of generating an amplified, unstable magnetic field, I could force his powers into overdrive, destabilizing his control. This feedback loop could overwhelm his ability to focus, causing his magnetic constructs to collapse and leaving him momentarily vulnerable. The challenge would be calibrating the device to ensure it disrupts his control without triggering collateral magnetic chaos. A highly theoretical approach, but one worth considering if precision can be achieved. Finally, There's his stamina and focus. Magneto's powers demand concentration and energy. A prolonged engagement designed to overwhelm him with simultaneous distractions, high-speed drones, decoys, and environmental manipulation could push him to his limits. Without the ability to concentrate fully, his control would falter, leaving him open to containment or subdual. This method isn't about overpowering him directly, but about forcing him to exhaust himself, creating an opportunity to end the fight on my terms. For a more direct approach, the key lies in materials immune to Magneto's influence. A specially designed bat suit reinforced with advanced ceramics and polymer-based systems would negate his ability to manipulate my equipment. Magnetic dampeners built into the suit would further suppress localized fields, ensuring I remain shielded from his attacks. Some might argue that creating armor specifically designed for one adversary is unnecessary, but against Magneto, it's essential. His ability to manipulate traditional metals would render any standard equipment useless, turning it into a liability rather than protection. This suit would level the playing field, allowing for direct engagement. Using polymer-based restraints, I could immobilize him once subdued and transport him to a facility specifically designed to neutralize his electromagnetic powers. Magneto believes he's fighting for the greater good, even when it comes at everyone else's expense. Stopping him requires understanding both the man and the force he commands. Power like his doesn't come without limits, and when the time comes, I'll be ready to exploit them. Who's next? Let me know. Stay vigilant.